Hello, everyone. Today, I thought I would come on here and share a little bit about me as a way for us to get to know each other. There's so much to share that I'm a little bit puzzled, but I thought I would just start out with, I was a chemist originally, and as a chemist, I did medical research and never imagined that I'd ever be doing healing work ever, ever, ever. Um, from there, I've got an MBA from Babson College in marketing, and was a marketing manager for a company. I've been art gallery director. I've been a salesperson. I've been a manager. And then eventually I became a spiritual teacher. I came to acknowledge that I'm a spiritual teacher and a healer. And so that happened very organically. I was working as a marketing manager, and I lost my job, and this opened a lot of doorways for me, amazingly enough. And I wound up, uh, this story is incredible, but I wound up taking a 3-month backpacking trip through Europe, something I never planned, never expected, and it came up and I went in 10 days. But it was during that time that I realized that I was going to live in Europe. And so I went back home and I had my children move in with their father. And I sold my house and I sold all of my belongings and I put a backpack on my back and I went back to Europe and traveled along the Swiss, German, Austrian border because I didn't know where I was going to live. I just knew I was going to live there and landed in Austria. Surprise, to my surprise. So it wasn't Austria again. I follow the trail, saying yes, listening, saying yes, discovering in an organic manner. By the way, I had dreamed I was a healer right before I left, and I'd taken 2 or 3 weekends of healing. So I got there and I just kind of discovered by meeting people and talking to people and having things happen, and eventually got connected with the biggest light center in Vienna, where they entertain all these international healers with lots of experience. And I got invited to go there to do a healing circle, which I did. And at the end of the healing circle, they invited me to come there to work. And that is where I had my first healing practice. So it all happened organically. And I did hands-on energy healing. I actually knew I had to follow my guidance and everything I did because I didn't know very much. And that started this whole journey of healing, spiritual teacher, and so on. And I have traveled in about 40 US states. I've lived in Europe a number of times. I've traveled a lot in Europe. I lived in Austria for a year and a half. I traveled another time for 6 months in Greece and Rome and Vienna and in the south of France, and I spent a year in Paris. And all during this time, all this moving around, I lived in Hawaii. I lived in Kauai for 3.5 years. I lived in Sedona. I've been in Boulder. I mean, I've been all the beautiful spots, and I live in Southern California now. And all during these travels, I was creating businesses and being a serial international entrepreneur and making up my marketing as I went along, and starting out with just flyers and so on, and on into the internet. And so that's how I got into the healing modalities. And of course, I have studied tremendously over the years, over these 25 years of doing healing work. I have all kinds of certifications, all kinds of degrees. And I became a certified healing touch practitioner at one point. So I worked in hospitals doing healing. I don't do hands-on healing anymore. I do more teaching, and I work with the Akashic Records. And that all happened very organically too, because you can imagine in all these travels, tons of manifestations. Where am I going to live? Where's the next place for me to travel to? What's my next steps? All of these things, amazing manifestations. And those are stories I will tell in another time because they're unbelievable. And at some point, I ran into a problem with being able to manifest, and so I was like puzzled, like what happened? What's going on here? And I think that one of the things that had been around me for a while was the Akashic Records, but I didn't really tune into that. And one day I was listening to the radio and I heard someone talk about this readings in the Akashic Records, these particular kinds of readings, and I said, "Oh, that's what I need to do." And I did this reading where I learned everything about my soul and all of the qualities of my soul and different aspects of my soul, and got a clearing of the blocks that were created in my past lives or even created in this lifetime. And as I was receiving that clearing, all this energy was coming off of me. I could feel it layers and layers. Now, I had done tons of healing before this. And yet these particular hidden saboteurs, as I call them, were not available to be healed until the connecting with the Akashic records. And so from then, I really was committed to working with the Akashic records, and I've created my whole system for working with the Akashic records and helping people to develop their businesses based on their soul qualities and their manifesting archetypes in their Akashic records. And people get incredible results. So it's very powerful work. And I've created, my Magnetic Mojo program, because what I'm really about aligning with the soul and being resilient, recreating yourself like I have done many times over, finding the missing links to what's keeping you from manifest at the highest level that you can manifest. And so there's various levels, there's soul alignment, that's through your Ahara alignment, there's soul alignment through your Akashic records. And then there's working with some of the mental, emotional type things that don't get handled in other areas because of trauma or so deeper things. So if you've done a lot of healing work on yourself, or you've got a lot of degrees and certificates and things aren't gelling, then most likely there's some hidden saboteurs in there to work with. But anyway, that's kind of a quick story of where I've been and how I've gotten here. And so I've gotten a lot of experience, training, and worked with a lot of clients to help them to create the lives that they desire to have. And I'm very honored to be here with you and to share what I have learned and what I can offer to you as far as helping you to move forward in your own life. And so, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for being here.